Welcome to another molybdenum software show episode, work session.
Hello.
Open source, real work, real people, behind the
Cool people.
scenes. These are the scenes. There's no behind the scenes. There's complete transparency. Um, Jeremy and Dawn, and hopefully some more people. Here's a screen.
All right.
Here is Zellige. Have you seen Zellige?
Nope.
Check it out.
It's got a lot of the same letters as IntelliJ, so that turns me off a little bit. But what is it?
Yes, I had to also.
It's not related, is it?
I replaced Tmux with this.
Oh, a terminal multiplexer that isn't tmux?
Yeah.
Wait, you use tmux locally?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we're gonna have to talk about that. You've got a
What
tiling
else?
window manager. Why do you need tmux?
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes I used a tiling window manager. Another time, I used Tmux with tabs. It helps having tabs in the same window. But I know it's like tabs. You can do that with a. But I'm not so good at this tiling window manager. I didn't invest much
Oh,
in
okay.
that.
Tmux is
Uh,
older. You've been using it for longer than yours. Is it Sway? That's what you're using?
Sway.
Gotcha.
This
Well, I would
is,
encourage you to. I used to do the Tmux thing, and then I realized, wait, I'm just learning a completely different set of shortcuts, and I want to get better at Eclipse Monad, so I leaned into that.
Yeah, totally. But look, this has some additional features.
Okay,
Um,
yeah,
like
show
for
me the cool stuff.
example, well, this as far as a session manager, that there are sessions. It can resurrect sessions. It has the list of
Mm,
sessions. It has menus all the time appearing, so you could for example, if I control T, I'm in the tab menu, and I can see at the bottom. I can
hmm
make a new one. Then I could switch between I can see how to switch between. It has a Vim mode, Emacs mode.
Oh, cool.
Um, so there are panes, and then I can have a new pane. It's over here, and
That's got a little dry. Definitely looks different than Tmux. Is this all unconfigured?
correct. Only thing I
Slick.
have here is Vim. The mode is Vim.
Looks nice.
Um,
Shahar, I have to ask, is one of the features that it's written in Rust?
why would you ask that?
I'm just curious.
I mean, it happens to be written in Rust.
Okay, but you would not describe that as a feature?
Um, Look,
I'm just playing with you. I hope that's clear.
I I can't deny that it was a criteria for selection.
Oh wow. Okay, that's a criteria.
Um,
I mean, I like knowing that whatever software I'm using is written in a language that I feel comfortable hacking in. So
Look, it can
I
float the
don't agree
pane.
that Rust should be the only language that people feel comfortable hacking in.
Check it out. Check it out.
Whoa, it's like a
Can you do
floating
this?
window.
It's floating in the
I mean,
terminal.
I can do that with my window manager, but
Right.
no, not in Tmux. Wow, pretty slick.
Yeah. Control PW. Stop floating. Okay. So another thing is that you can use this to make a some sort of a panel or a dashboard or like a setup for your app. So you can have a local file that describes some tabs and some panes and what to run in them.
Oh, so if
So you
you like,
can,
I don't know,
yeah.
worked on some website that had like a database and a server, and then you end up fire up a database shell, and it
Hmm.
just, yeah, makes sense.
And of course, you could use Nix to generate that file.
Yeah.
All right. So enough showing off. But one of the problems that this solves for me is that I know the key bindings because they're on the screen. I
Oh, okay.
also can search the history. I'm not sure like how to. Maybe if I do like ls mix store,
Yeah, that's an
possibly
expensive
not the
operation there.
best
A lot
idea.
of things in there.
I thought it might stream them. I think the original ls streams, doesn't it? But there you are.
I think it
So
is.
search, and then I could go up and down, or by. And then I could
Yeah, this
like
is clearly sorted, so maybe that's why it had to take a moment. Okay, so you've got scroll back. That's nice.
uh, what can I do? Can I enter search term S? Whatever I search here, it'll be found, right? Like me, oh, Vim. That's a bit nicer than. So I press enter when done. Okay, enter. And then can I do search up, search up, search up, search down, P and next. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I can search whole words instead. I can turn on wrapping. So these are kind of modifiers. Man, how can you say no to all this fanciness?
I mean, I already told you, I'd rather just use my window manager for this stuff. And
Of course.
Alacrity has been with all that good stuff. So I don't know. It's not a, I'm very interested in stuff for remote, but I guess I like, you know, I like managing my GUI windows the same as my terminal windows.
I would love to know how to like do better the hierarchy of all this stuff. How do I like pull one out here and then like what if I want in the bottom one, now I want to add another one to the bottom group. I don't know how to
Hmm.
do that.
Well, I'm sure Sway can do it. I don't
I'm
know how
sure
to
it
do
can
it with
do it.
Sway.
Sure it can do it. Okay. So rotate.
All right. During screen here. I have some windows left over from last night. Okay. Your tracker. Mob T open. Excuse me. Start the timer. Mob start. All right. Any idea where we were?
Oh, just,
No such binding. Do
I
this
mean,
next time. Love it. Good job,
right.
us. Okay. Underscore file. Right. Okay. So shall we set this to the same thing as key?
So what's values?
Better error messages.
Then file should just be the file, shouldn't it? Like
Yeah, I mean,
module location.
and no hashtag DB.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, oops, what am I doing? That seems fine to me. I'm a little
That's the fun.
curious to look at this. Can we get our hands on it? Like if I do a nix repl dot, if I do like nixos modules dot,
Get a look at
oh, this is
this.
a private one, so I can't get my hands on this. I was just curious to get a sense of
Mm-hmm.
what module location evaluates to, but
Mm-hmm.
given that this thing's private, I don't think there is. We put so much effort into keeping it private. I don't know how to get my hands on it, other than like doing a built-in dot trace. What is it? Trace val? That would be better here. Is that packages?
Lib. Lib trace
Lib.
val.
Love it. Okay, next play. Go. Nothing? Really? I guess we got to do a nix like check. Actually evaluate this module. This is probably. Hey, there we go. Okay, that's the flake itself, huh? Not the most useful thing. Bummer. Looks
I don't like itself. How is
I
it the
assume
flag
that's what this
itself?
is.
So this is only useful for, yeah, it namespaces all your.
Yeah, this is basically like the Java style com.molybdenumsoftware. Like it's private to our flake now, but it's on us to choose the unique part after the hashtag. So given that, I think the hashtag DB is appropriate if we were to reuse this pattern in this flake.
That's what
Flake parts does.
isn't it?
I think so. I think we looked at the code and it was setting file and key to the exact same thing. Okay, so it's good to know that
Okay,
module
yeah.
location is not what I thought it was. It's like, I don't really understand what the word module means here. But I'm also okay moving on if you are.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. GitHub GraphQL schema. So something is trying to take this as a parameter. It's hard to tell which. Maybe it's fetcher.
Sorry, I don't have my timer window open.
Do you remember where we put this in args? It's module
Hey,
args right here.
in Alacrity, let's say I use you use Alacrity without
No too
without
much.
any
Yeah.
multiplexer, raw.
hmm
How would you scroll up and search in your history with the keyboard?
Control Shift Space puts you into this sort of Vim mode where you can do like / foo or question mark foo.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, I'll try to use this for a while.
And you can like select stuff and yank. It's not exactly Vim. Like you'll find things that surprise you, but they've made a decent effort and they seem to be willing to make changes when people identify things that are different.
Okay. Um.
Uh, so I don't have a good way to figure this out. Do you? This like I know what the problem is, which is something is expecting GitHub GraphQL schema as an attribute, and then the module system is trying to deduce that. This is the thing right here that would get better if we added underscore file everywhere, because right now we have anonymous modules, and so it's like hard to
Mhm.
figure this shit out. So maybe that's what we should do. Should we add underscore file and make this easier to debug? Because we're gonna have to figure this out.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's do that. So Actually, on that note, why are we not benefiting from flake parts? Why is it not doing this for us? Adding the underscore file.
It doesn't.
I thought we read the code and it does.
It doesn't. But here's a suggestion. Oh yeah, it does. Um, I don't know if it's possible. Some kind of an assertion that guarantees that we always set this explicitly.
Yeah. Well, I'll rotate. I can tell you the upstream folks are not interested in that because it comes with consequences, unfortunately. But I think for us it would be reasonable. But I disagree with you. We read the flake parts code and it is setting underscore file for, but I think we're just not leveraging it. I think it's an opt-in feature of flake parts.
What were we running? Next click check.
Yeah.
Try this thing. Oh, yeah, that's decent. So should I don't know, go to flake.nix, figure out where we have modules?
I mean, I would say we should try to leverage the feature from flake parts, the one that will set this stuff for us.
You mean was it modules something something?
Yeah. The documentation Robert linked us to last week. I think it's just a matter of like adding an import and it might automatically do the right thing for us.
Well, no, it's not. What? No. This will have to remain the way it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you import. It's how you import, your top level modules.
Yes.
But if you want to never do this again in any other modules, because they will be kind of shared between. But there's a problem with that thing because it doesn't know how to do anything private.
Sure. So I agree. The 2 lines of code we just added to our private module, they have to stay. But I think the issue we're running into right now is with one of our public modules. And I propose that rather
Like
than
API
us
fetching.
adding underscore file, which we could do, that would be easy and that would help us
Okay,
figure out
so
the issue. But I would
API
say,
default, not default. API the NixOS module. You're saying instead of flake NixOS modules, we set this thing under modules NixOS.
okay, you remember how to do this because I don't. That sounds plausible.
Check. The option modules does not
Yeah.
exist. Maybe
Okay.
it's
And
flake
that
modules.
no, I think that's right, but it's an opt-in, right? Maybe it is
Hmm.
flake.modules, though. You might be right about that.
Opt in.
Like the documentation for this feature said we have to add an import.
Here's flake parts documentation. Modules. What now?
Do the
It's
installation
flake
part.
modules. What this?
Unknown flake output modules. So I think that worked in the sense that it'll show up in Nick's Flake show, but it's not getting massaged because we haven't.
It's this is no longer a thing.
Yeah, and that's because we need to opt into this feature. So if you flip back to the docs,
Really? What do you mean?
there's this installation thing. To use these options, add inside the make flake inputs equals.
Huh. Okay. This would probably be at the top level.
I think so. Yeah, this is just like a feature of Flake parts that for whatever reason it's not enabled by default. Okay, now either
Again.
I think we'll get a different error. Nope, I was wrong. We got the warning unknown.
Well, but look,
Yeah,
in create locally, it's no. This should still exist, right? Should just reach there in a different manner.
I agree. Flake.modules.nixoff.
It's options, Flake modules, NixOS, right? So Flake modules, NixOS.
Yeah,
Flake parts, Flake, and then generic, whatever that means. And that's all there should be to it.
yeah. Can I see the code again? Flake.modules.nixoff. The flake.modules.nixoff.api. And we're not like in a per system context or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Nix like show doesn't show anything useful, right? It's just going to show this modules, unknown modules output. Yeah, so, yep,
Well,
there
hold
it is.
on. It's putting it not in the canonical Flake schema location. It has its own thing. It's like modules.
Oh, do you
This
think
is what
that's
we've
okay?
been.
I see. So you think, okay, I had incorrectly, possibly incorrectly assumed that this thing would massage this stuff into the correct canonical schema, but maybe I'm just totally wrong about that.
Yes, it doesn't do that. It has
Okay,
its own schema. It's a competing schema
interesting
as far as
choice.
schemas compete. They train in the morning early.
Rocky mode.
So I
Okay.
think we're not going to be using it because we don't want to be breaking
Yeah, I mean, we could
too little
probably,
benefit.
yeah. So let's just add underscore file, and we don't have to do key, but we could do key.
Deleting this back here. Where is it? Over to you. No
Okay.
changes.
All right. Mob start 7. Here we go. So I'm gonna go to uh, flake.next, db.next, and I'll copy this to my clipboard. Okay. And we're gonna paste that
I'm sorry.
in.
I unshared the screen.
Oh, and I should share my screen. Okay. So what I've done is I've copied these 3 lines of code to my clipboard. Okay. And we're going to put those in our other NixOS modules, which are API, which has this NixOS module right here. And this is going to have to get indented, huh? To pull this off, because we need to put key and file. Oh, wait, no, can it go here? And then we do module location, options, and config. Okay, great. Let's do a next Flake check. Okay, the options. So why did that trigger a completely different error? I was expecting to see a complaint about, oh, I shouldn't call it DB. Okay, so this has now triggered the bug, possibly. We're double declaring DB again, because, or not double declaring. Because these have the same key, they're getting deduplicated. Let me call this API and API.
Mm-hmm.
This is the big gotcha with setting these values.
And we
Okay, there
didn't
we go.
get far before shooting ourselves in the foot with this.
I know. This is why it's not set or enforced. Okay, now I'm going to go to fetcher, exhaust module, put this here. I'll remember.
Hold on, just a little bit more thought.
Uh-huh,
Which one is used for deduplicating?
key. So we don't have to
Okay,
set key.
right. We didn't want to set key for this. We just wanted to get an error message better.
Yep, so we could drop key.
Yeah,
Would you
let's
like to
try
do
that.
that?
Yeah, and also I don't feel we need the issue above each instance of any of these. I think the issue is only for use of key, where we use that.
Sounds good. I mean, key would arguably be useful. Like Robert's
But
advice.
hey, it doesn't file if we wanted it for. This no longer helps. Like even if we got an error, because now it won't be anonymous, but it won't be the module location that we want.
Yeah, but we're trying to carefully give this a globally unique name, like a unique name within our flake. So it would at least tell us which file. Like for instance, I now know it's
Nix.
neither of those two files because we're still getting anon. So that means it's something else entirely.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, the
There's
advice
no
we
way
got from
of.
upstream was we should set key in file for any flake outputs so that people consuming our flake don't run into this diamond dependency issue. You remember that?
Uh-huh.
So I think we actually probably should set key. Like I know we just removed it.
Okay. If that's the case, I suppose.
Are you okay with me undoing that?
I think it's somewhat remote. I
We could
mean,
do it in a
here's a
separate.
question: do NixOS modules? No, they don't. Like, why would they? You never really import them explicitly. You just call NixOS system, and it implicitly imports all of them for you.
Right. And you can filter them out, which is a weird feature that
Mm-hmm.
hopefully can go away someday.
Oh, okay. Fine. We don't have that many modules, so let's just do this
Okay.
in
So
all
I'm
of them.
copying.
And we're not even talking about all the flake parts modules. We're just talking about like 4 NixOS modules, right?
So, but I am a little confused. I mean, the error, I guess, makes it clear that it's one of our packages that we're having trouble with, right? Because our packages are the ones that would try to consume this. What's unfortunate is I would have thought that we were pulling in, like, why do we have, I'm surprised that we have an anonymous module, an anonymous, this might be a flake parts module.
I just run a grep for that and see where it
Yeah,
is. But also, before you just finish putting the key in the file everywhere.
I put it in, oh, I didn't save this file, but I did it to API and fetcher.
And now there's common.
Yeah, and we're gonna get rid of this thing, right? But I'll put it there for now.
We are already not using this.
Oh, is that true?
You delete this.
Okay. Sorry, I just want to,
Delete the file.
okay, you're sure we're not using it? I thought
I'm
we
pretty
had a
sure.
plan to get rid of it. Like, I mean, I guess I can prove that if I,
It is in packages. The packages are in packages, and we have self in scope everywhere.
okay, you're right, RM. It's gone. Okay. So I'll rotate there and stop sharing.
Starting. Don't mind this. This is embarrassing. This is this Atuin shell history tool.
Okay.
Sometimes it fails to save the history. So it tries to save history
Hmm.
when I issue a command, and then it like times out something.
Got it.
Not
Well,
pleasant.
I guess nice to know that it didn't happen, but also distracting. Okay, so I deleted a file and must have not removed the import or reference to it somewhere.
Import Flake. Gone.
Goodbye.
Make that check. That's taking longer. GitHub GraphQL schema.
Same thing. Non-17 and non-1.
Unknown 17. Well, it's 917 on some file.
Maybe.
In some file.
I don't know what this naming scheme
GitHub GraphQL schema. Quite a few of these, huh? I don't know. Start from here.
Sure. So is this dev shell getting used as a so-called anonymous Flake parts module, or are we referencing it by path?
Well, for one, it has unnecessary parentheses.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
Lovely.
Your answer, Flake Nix. Here's the dev shell.
Okay.
That's
so
what
if I
that is.
understand correctly, it's not possible for it to be that one because it's not an anonymous module.
I think you're right.
Then
Okay,
let's
next.
keep searching. But I guess the thing I'm confused about is, do we have any
we will
unkeyed
find
anonymous
out very
modules?
soon. Here,
Okay.
it's not this one. Isn't per system an anonymous module?
I don't think I'd...
Hey, what? Why would this even be here?
Yeah, that might be wrong.
There's no reason for this to be here, right?
So are you saying like when you define a Flake parts module, you're actually defining like two modules in one? There's like the unsystemed module and then there's the system module?
Yep.
Okay, so if you add a key here, would we get a different error? A file, sorry, an underscore file. Because that feels like something unfortunate about Flake parts. If it's just like these per systems end up anonymous.
Well, it's not it though.
Okay.
Do we do this in everywhere? We don't do this everywhere.
We haven't
Did
done
we
it for
mean
any
to
of
do
these
it?
per systems. I'm not even necessarily sure. I'm going to need some time to think about this. Like the per system stuff is a different invocation of the Nix packages module. Like
it's a different configuration.
mm-hmm.
It's not a Flake part. It
But
has
like,
its
would you
own.
do like, could you do like an import in this context? Like imports equals array of stuff.
should be, but they would not be flake parts.
Yeah, it would be a different type of module. I'm just not.
This type of module, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're right about that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just would need some time to think.
Here, for example, in this file, we're doing it correctly.
Yeah, like we're pulling it in from the outside. Yeah. I think what I'm confused about is I don't think we have any unkeyed anonymous modules.
Well, let's take a look more thoroughly. This one we looked at. This is probably not it. This also looks up. What the heck is title? Oh, title we did pass around, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not it. This is just commented out. I'm going to ignore it. Now this is not here because it's commented out. Nix F can tell you that a whole bunch of stuff here isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
But this is packages. Are we still importing this?
I wouldn't
No, we're
expect us
not
to
importing
be.
it.
I think we're just trying to burn that file to the ground.
Can I delete it?
I don't know if we've done the Clippy thing yet. I think we've been pretty good about following this pattern of like when every line is
I
gone.
don't think packages.nix is anywhere. It's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not imported.
So forget about what did I so GitHub build schema.
That's how it gets injected in
How it's
everywhere.
injected everywhere.
Yeah.
This is this is unused. That is where I would expect to find it. Fine, this is probably where what fails. Of course, we don't expect it to be anonymous, but hey,
Yeah.
maybe it
Well,
is.
let's change it and see, and then maybe we'll learn something.
Okay, this is modules program docs.
Okay.
I have mixed it.
I'll pick the screen, modules, program docs. Okay. So next like check. And then what I'll do is I'll add a GitHub GraphQL schema here and remove it from here. Let's see what happens. Okay, well done, Shahar. You're absolutely right. And I'd like,
Hmm.
I'm just bummed. Just
But
bummed
about what?
that it's so hard to get nice error messages from this stuff.
It's anonymous, Jeremy. It's an inline module, right?
Yeah, I don't,
Per system, any module that is not being imported
yeah. So
using
just to be clear, the thing
imports
that you're
equals
saying
list
is the
path.
module, is the thing I have highlighted, right?
Yeah, that's the module.
Yeah, and I get it. It's not being referenced by a file. So like to test that theory, if I like extracted this into a file and did an import, no, that wouldn't work because then I'd be importing it and discarding the.
No, you can make this this will remain an anonymous module that has imports equals. Does that make sense?
Well, I just want to know how to get a nice error message. Did we try adding
Yeah, yeah.
underscore file here?
If this is an adder set instead of a function, right? Per system equals adder set that
Mm-hmm.
has a single attribute. Imports equals a path, a list with a path, and then this
Yeah.
function is at that path.
Okay, that
then
would do it.
it's has a file.
Sure. But without making it a separate file, shouldn't adding underscore file here do the trick?
It would.
Oh, underscore file equals, this is the experiment we tried before and it didn't work. But the reason it didn't work is because we have to do config.packages, right?
Uh, maybe.
Is it okay if I go back to the broken thing to test this out?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to undo the point where we have an error. Exploit check. We expect this to error out complaining about the GitHub GraphQL schema. I'm going to do underscore file equals hackety hack. And then I'm going to just do, I think we already tried this and this didn't help.
Right.
I'm a little surprised we don't get a complaint about like a non-existent option called underscore file. But then if I do a config dot, nope, still nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure key is not relevant here.
Well, look, it's what the error is that you have a binding that is not existed. That's like a syntax error, right?
I don't think this is a syntax error.
It's not a syntax error. No, this is not a syntax. It's not a binding that is undefined. This is like a missing attribute to give to the
Like
to the module with.
the module system is doing some introspection on our arguments or something, or maybe not even.
Yep.
Maybe it's just Nix is like it's being fed a big adder set, and Nix is trying to find this in the adder set and can't.
It's introspection.
So I think there's something to learn here. That said, I'm okay just like filing this one away as a future thing to learn about. If you want to just like be productive, we know how to work around this.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you this anon. Okay. This anonymous function on anonymous module, line 17 of it. No, this is like anonymous number 17. That's like the path. That's the path. That's the import path. It's module anon 17 importing module anon 1. That kind of looks like to me, or maybe anon 1 is like a sub module sub config because per system is a sub config of.
Yeah, I
Does
don't
that make
know.
sense?
Maybe.
So I'm thinking it does not. This error does not occur in the context of this module in which we're trying to add key and file. It is the module that imports that it's the implementation of flake parts. That's
Yeah.
the anonymous.
Okay, so like maybe the way per system is implemented is there's an anonymous module there, and that would explain maybe the outer anon. But it does really feel to me like if you're right that this here is a. Oh, well, okay. On that note, how the hell could this possibly have a key in file if it can't even invoke the damn function, right? Like that doesn't make any sense. So, okay,
Yeah.
if we do the thing you had suggested, which is do import equals like this.
Oh no, that's not there. Careful.
That won't work.
Per system is a function. You're
Well, or is per system just a module?
you're doing invalid syntax. you put stuff, you put attributes in the pattern, parameter pattern.
What I'm trying to do is my new mental model of the universe is that per system doesn't have to be a function. It just has to be a module.
It doesn't have to be a function, but if it's not a function, there's nothing practical about it. But yeah, what I said is probably correct. But then, yes, it would work.
Yeah.
But
So what I was trying to
this
do,
it won't be this, like if you make a different error, it won't be the same kind of error anymore. This particular error, you don't get a nice message for it. That's
well, so something I'm
that's the
curious
case.
about is like what I'm trying to do here. Let me comment out the old code to make it more clear what I'm trying to do. I'm I'm trying to do imports equals, put something useful here, and then also put in an underscore file equals hack. And then the thing I want to put here is this function right here. Does that sound like it would work?
Um, to some degree, yes.
I'm not saying I want to like leave the code structure this way, but I just want to
Hmm.
see if this gives us a non-anonymous error.
It'll be half anonymous.
Yeah, okay. That did not work the way we were expecting.
It added another anonymous one.
Yeah, it did.
But
So you are right
but
about the
but
depth.
but
Huh.
um no, I really thought we'd get file here.
Yeah, I'm okay stopping at
But
this point.
here's the thing. This kind of So it's even worse. This kind of error, it's an error in calling a module. You just never get file names here.
Yeah, I don't totally get what's going on and why it's different than, but I think we know we're not going to add file because that doesn't seem to be possible. I'm going to move this up here. Dot, dot, dot. Exploit check, and I'm probably overdue to rotate, aren't I? Mob next. Okay. Thank you for that digression. I don't
Welcome.
understand everything in the world, but that's like every day of my life until I die. So I can live with this one.
So dark. This is what we just did, and it's supposed to fix that situation, right?
Yes.
Compiling.
Oh, hey, you know what might sell you on fish? Did you know that they're porting to Rust?
Nice. Well, new is Rust from the get-go.
Well, all right. Okay, we're running a test. That's pretty exciting. Failed to start PR tracker fetcher. It's a
Do it
bummer that
again
it
with
failed, but
print logs.
I mean, at this point, it might make sense for us to just keep porting all the old stuff because we know there's a lot of old stuff we haven't done yet.
Wait a minute. I did the Control Shift Space thing, and it kept scrolling. It didn't like pause.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a limited scroll back or something?
That it didn't pause. It's not about the
Is
scroll
it?
back. It's like,
Well, but if the scroll back gets overflowed, then maybe, I don't know. I haven't noticed that.
so what do we have here? What the heck is this? Vendor depth is strange.
Database
PR
does not
tracker fetcher
exist.
does not
Role.
exist. Roll.
This feels like our
Roll.
test setup hasn't happened or something. Like we haven't created the database. Does not make any sense.
These are happening.
Hmm.
Any like where do we go from here?
I would sort of be inclined to look at the list of old things that we haven't ported yet, because maybe there's something test related, and we're just like, there's some shared test
Okay.
infrastructure that just hasn't made it over yet.
So create utils.
Oh, I mean, like literally, can we look at the folders named old and what is left in them?
Uh, uh, nothing here.
Okay, but there's an Exos test old.
Yeah.
So part of me is a little surprised we even have any NixOS tests in our Flake. Like, did we move one over but not delete it from here or something?
Well, here's a next Flake show.
Okay, yeah, that'd be interesting. Okay, so
Show.
create locally is failing. That must be the one that's the only NixOS test. So we ported that one over. We probably then have spent until now trying to get to the point where we can actually run that test. So that was probably like days ago that we ported it. Now we're finally running the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is there something in the old test infrastructure?
There's nothing commented out here.
Yeah.
Create locally is not in old.
Okay.
And old with packages old, NixOS test old, a bunch of things in NixOS test old.
Okay. So there I see like a create role with login password. Do we have something like that in our create locally test?
No, because it does that, right? That's the
That's what the
implementation does
module
that.
should be doing under the hood. Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. So maybe we haven't ported over that logic. Like the test is
Maybe it's
actually doing the
commented
right thing.
out.
Yeah, that sounds plausible.
db.next. This one. Hello.
Uh, hello, hello, hello. Beautiful.
Lib. Oh, where's my completion? Oh, sorry. Like. Oh, now I don't have any completion here.
And while that's going, can you search for other conflict markers? Just make sure there aren't any others.
It's fun. Conflict markers. There's all this.
Okay. We should probably figure that out then.
Next it.
Okay. Start 7. Okay. Packages per system. Are we not
Green.
exposing packages yet?
Share screen.
Yeah, on it. We are exposing packages. Oh, okay. So this is a file we're burning down. It's currently unused. So I guess we could try to just get rid of this file. And that probably just means we have to find a home for this Clippy check. Oh, I see a Clippy
Doesn't.
check. Did
Yeah,
we
we
already
have.
do that?
Try to find the contents of that.
Modules/Clippy. Beautiful. Okay, then I think we can delete this file.
Delete
Are
it.
you sold?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now we grab listen. There's nothing. Okie dokie. Oh. Now we're running tests. It might take a moment. So while that's going, I guess we can take a look at the old. So package is old. Now we probably ported API and fetcher, right? That's just an empty directory. Like, haven't we ported this over to the new way of doing things?
We must have.
Yeah. Yeah, like there it is. Okay, so I feel good deleting that. And we've also done fetcher. I'm sure about that. It's right there. Okay, so I'm going to nuke the whole package's old directory. Is that okay?
Yes.
Done though. Okay, now it's NixOS test modules old. We've already ported one of them, but we need to do API and fetcher. This is very exciting. So modules, the place for this is going to be somewhere in modules, right? Integration tests. Does that sound right?
Yes, that was the plan.
Okay. Modules, what's the shape here? There's a create locally.nix. And then a
Just move all of the
default.nix.
test files in here.
Yeah, I'm just
Flatly.
wondering about the structure. Should I preserve this API directory?
No, it'll no API hyphen this. It's enough. It's only 2 per
There's
program.
3.
Package is
Package.
not a. Oh, package is a real thing.
I don't know I don't remember what this is.
Package is for selecting the package. Like the package of the service. API.
So this defines 2 tests. Okay, right. So this is the weird thing. Flatten tree previously would flatten this into the right stuff for us. Okay. And then TCP/DB is like the shared logic between those 2 tests, maybe? No?
That's the node.
They're just 2 different tests here with a shared node. Okay. I'm honestly not convinced that this
No.
abstraction is
There's
worth it.
not two tests with the share node. The only difference between the tests are the node. Otherwise, the test script is the same. So we could
Name and
instead
node.
of doing this, we could duplicate.
Yeah, I sort of am
Or
feeling that.
now that it's easier to reuse things because we have flake parts, this test script could live in a shared location more easily, like in a location that instead of where it would inject itself into the. Yeah, I think we could have done that. No, we couldn't have
Yeah,
done that.
we could have like a thing called like a test library that, and it would just be some Nix
But it
code
could be
that we could get our
the
hands on.
root. It could be the root. So this would be like NixOS uh, modules Nix modules integration test API default would define mod underscore module args node to test and would import two modules TCPDB and package.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't feel like the right name, calling it node to test, because that would conflict with like there's presumably a node to test that's slightly different for fetcher. And the underscore module args is like a global scope for our flake.
Perhaps API test
Yeah,
that takes a node.
yeah. But I don't know. Looking at this, I don't feel like this is a useful level of abstraction. I would be inclined to repeat this. It's start test, wait,
Well,
assert.
look, it's already this way. How about we, see what it looks like when
Okay,
it's flake parts, and then we could.
yeah. So I think the most natural way of doing this in the Flake Parts universe would be for this file right here. I'll rotate. I think it would be for that package.nix to become a flake part and for it to define
Yeah,
two
I think I
tests.
get it. Let me see if I get it. All this is testo. So there should be like API. Create locally is already not a thing. Remove that. These
Mm-hmm.
two cut out of here,
Yeah.
and they're going to modules integration tests.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And then default imports integration. Default imports both.
Agreed.
Like not this. API and touch.
Mm-hmm.
And API instead of packages we call default.
Love it.
Oops. Yeah, fetcher instead of fetcher. Default.
Great.
Now we take a look at test API default. It doesn't need this. It might need lib. NixOS test is from like what packages, right?
Seems like it
So
would.
this probably takes something, but this is not a let in. It would be more like module args.
I mean, I think we could leave it as a let in. Like we define the two Nixos tests in this file right here.
Look, this is test API TCP DB.
Mm-hmm.
This all this is the node,
Yes.
right? Um, we do this. I'm think I'm thinking This would be one, and then it would be imports, TCP, DB and both mix.
Yeah.
This way, these can define themselves, and they could use the API test, which would be that.
Yep, that would work. And so what you'd be doing is changing those files from defining nodes
Mm-hmm.
to being full-on Flake part modules. That totally works. What I was proposing was that we leave them as nodes and keep the structure more similar to what we see already.
I see a benefit to that as many files as we can here are flake part modules, so that when you go into a file, it's simple because it's just another flake part module. Does that make sense?
I mean, I don't have enough experience yet with Flake parts to have strong opinions. I think the underscore module args pattern smells
Mm-hmm.
a little off to me as like something to lean too much into because it, I think, hurts discoverability. Like, I'm worried that, like, right now when we've got everything in our heads, it's fine. But in the future, when I'm like looking at the inputs to some, this even happened earlier today. You were like, what the hell is title, right? And it's like not easy to figure out where title comes from. Like, you're going to have to grep through
Mm.
the code base for underscore module args, whatever. So I'm just a little anxious about that. But that's not me saying no. That's just me saying, I don't know what this stuff's going to feel like in a year, you know?
Well, the title is granted from like the top level all the way down to some different places. But this is defined in the same module that imports the two places where this is used.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just like
So,
if you're in one of those places, walking backwards is a little
mm-hmm.
like I would almost argue this could be an opportunity to use Robert's import apply. I guess that doesn't really make this any more readable, so maybe that's a moot point. Okay, but the benefit of import apply here would be that we wouldn't have to pick a flake unique name. Like how you had to call it like API test.
Yes,
If we used that import apply thing we learned about last week,
yes.
you actually could uh, scope it
It would be
like
it would be import up, import apply, maybe
right,
lib import apply. I don't know
and then we could pass an exhaust test in.
the. It's node test.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, what's the this means everything's still a flake part module, but it doesn't mean that like our different flake part modules have different scopes now, right? Like they have access to different things. And so are we actually making things better or are we making them worse? I don't know.
I think we're making it worse if this has to be a function that returns a function module.
Hmm.
I don't. It's a bit much when you get in here. Uh, of course, these are small differences, right? Tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
Eventually, this is all Nix code, and it's a bit of a jungle, so you have to.
Yep.
On the other
Yeah.
hand,
So I think maybe
it's already a
maybe
jungle. Every little
the
uh, bit,
the thing that I'm
bit
thinking
helps.
is we'll probably appreciate ourselves in the future if we
Mm-hmm.
give all our module args things like somewhat greppable names so that they can be found in the future, like
Next
without
step.
just seeing a bunch of results.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm sold with the plan though. Let's do module args. So
Screen.
shoot. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to modules API. No, modules integration, and we'll do API default for starters. And so we'll call this node to API test. That sound right?
Yep.
Okay. So that is a function that takes a name and a node and returns a Nixos test. Nixos test comes from maybe packages.
It does.
Well,
You don't
that's
get packages there. You need persistent.
sure. But I mean, I can create a per system, but do we define our Nixos
Maybe
tests
this
at
would
that
be a
scope?
with system,
Yeah, that feels more like it. So with
which I
system
don't
takes a
remember.
system, but okay, so I guess we can get that from Node, right? Like Node has a Node must have a system on it.
Huh.
It's gonna be a little awkward.
Huh. Huh. Node. Node does not have a Node does not have a system. Node is just a Node does not have a system.
Oh, really? Okay.
Node is an XOS module, not an XOS configuration.
Hmm. Okay, so all right, so then the way to do this, I guess, is shoot, I'm
It's a
confused.
with
How do you end up
system.
with a system in order to run? Oh, the checks. Okay, sorry. No, this is going to be a per system because ultimately these are all going to be checks, and checks are a per system thing, right?
Yes, you're right. All of this is per system returning checks,
Yeah.
an attribute with
So what we
checks.
can do is we can define a per system here.
But you know what's interesting? That the imports um, will be outside of that per system.
Yes, yes, they will. So this will look something like this, right? If we lean into this, there we go. Maybe we're not even using lib, not sure. So now there's a node to API test, which these guys can use in their own per systems in order to define these two things.
That's interesting. You think all per systems are in the same evaluation, that they will be able to find node to API test?
I am pretty sure that's the case because I have used this sort of pattern to override packages in my own personal Flake
Okay,
to have a patched version of Nix packages.
cool.
So I'm pretty sure
So
that'll
I
work.
think you can delete the two lines, these two erroring lines.
Yep. And then we're going to go in here. And this is a node now. So here are the two lines I just copied out. This is going to PR tracker. That's probably self.nixos modules, and that's self prime right there. So self is here. And then this will return a per system, which will take self prime as an argument and return a or set a what is it, checks dot exhaust test forward slash API forward slash TCPDB or something. And then this will be a node
TC. Yeah, I think you're right.
node to API test. And this will take a node, a name, and a node. The name is right here, API with TCPDB. The node is not yet defined. And then this node to API test, that's going to be injected into this per system callback right here. And then we just need to define the node somehow. And that node is this whole thing, right?
Correct.
Takes package, or am I wrong about that? Packages config. Nope, I think that's right. Okay. So what I will do, should I put that in a let binding
Yeah,
up
but
on top?
it doesn't. It would not need packages nor config. It would just be an error set at this point. I think config is
Okay,
unused at this point.
good call. In packages, we are pulling system and write text from, but if we scope it in here, we can pull packages from here. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. So PKGs like that. And then this just, and you want to get rid of the whole let binding as well? I think we'd keep the let, at least for now, right?
No. Oh, there's DB pass and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll rotate. I'd say let's keep the let to get it working, and then we can maybe factor it out if we want.
let it be. Let in. Let in.
The file we were in was integration tests API. Oh shoot, I didn't save. You can delete those 2 lines in that file you were just in if you want.
Save. Mob next.
Sure. Mob next. Okay, you can start again.
Five seconds ago.
Great.
What is this here?
That was just to remember the names of the tests because we deleted it from the other place.
Let in. Let in this adder set out of here
Mm-hmm.
and into where?
To replace node,
That's the node. You think inline here would be fine?
parens. We'll need parens, but otherwise maybe inline will work. Cool. Love it, love it. Is there anything left at the bottom of the file, or did you get rid of that?
Um, well, let's see. This is undefined variable.
That's just a self, right?
There is a PR tracker packages. This
That's
can be replaced
self-primed,
with
and we can
self
drop the system
prime
reference.
without the system.
Cool.
This is a relic.
Goodbye.
Now everything is used. And what are these doing here? API
So
with
we can delete the top one.
TCPDB.
I just wanted those strings, which were the names of the tests.
This is also, this is for the other
Yeah.
file.
So we're going to give the other file the same treatment, and we'll need. Don't delete that though, because that's the only place where the
I'm
test name
moving
is.
it to the other
Oh,
file.
sorry. Go ahead.
Test API default package. Here.
Love it.
Okay. The similar treatment. This is removed.
Well, could we see if that works first? We just did a lot.
See if it works. What kind of a show are we running here?
Uh,
Like, check. Do I need to increase the timeout or something? Does not look like a module default package because we are importing. I think I won't
sure.
import it.
Yeah.
This NixOS test, tests, integration tests, integration test API default. Hold on with this.
Great.
And then we have whatever that is. I think fetcher also, maybe like integration test default. We will not import fetcher.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. I'm sold. We can keep going. I just wanted to see that we got to the point of running tests.
Export. Okay. So the uncomment default package and go again to fetcher default. I didn't mean that. Integration default. This is now a flake parts module. Flake parts module that will receive self, at least, and then define imports, which will have.
I don't think there are any imports there.
This. Oh, this is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We're just doing the per system callback
Per
there.
system. Then we get self prime, maybe. Maybe packages. Then define check. Doing checks dot
Nixoft test.
I think we're going
we
to
could rename them if we want.
Yeah, integration test. Checks maybe just integration. Integration.
Sure. Yeah, test a little redundant.
API. Default package. Is this like a name of, or names are supposed to be this one?
I mean, this is just a string. We can call it whatever we want. And then I think it's a function call, right? We're going to do node to API test.
Right, node to API test.
And then you give it the test name, and you can delete API the line of code up above.
Package.
Love it. And then we are going to give it just a flat adder set, I think, which will be the node.
Which will be the node. The node is a let in here, so.
Yep.
Got this.
Love it, love it.
Put it there. Maybe in a parentheses.
Love it, love it.
And this is removed.
Cool.
I think this is ending the per system. And don't forget, I nexted.
Okay.
Don't forget to rename the NixOS tests to integration /
Okay.
I won't forget.
Start 7.
Next generation internet, building the future of decentralized identity.
Where are you looking?
Got the newsletter.
Excuse me. Okay, I'm confused about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Is this just going away? This directory doesn't even exist, does it? It does not.
Yeah, we don't
Can
need
this
that.
whole module just get deleted?
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye. Okay, integration like that.
Integration, API, TCP/DB. That looks good.
Okay, and then this is create locally, which we'd already done. So if I search for Nix.test, it's nowhere to be found. That's good. And then we were doing API / default package. Okay, just follow the errors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is node to API. And then PR tracker becomes self. And we're not using write text. And we're not using self prime because we're not overwriting the package, I guess. And PG port is unused because we're just benefiting from create locally. Sounds reasonable. Okay, how's that look?
What did you just remove? PG
Just the
port?
unreferenced variables, PG port. Are you wondering
It
why it
was
was even there?
already unused. Leave it.
Like, well, leave it. Okay,
I'd like to set up some Nix F
sure. That would be slick.
to enforce no unused bindings.
Yep, that
I'd
would be
like to
nice.
have some unused binding to test that with.
Okay.
Hey Jeremy, are you still here? Think something might have happened to the connection. I'm pretty
You want to do
sure.
that in this branch?
Oh,
Ugh, sorry. Are things any different now? Oh, cool. No audio? Really? What changed? Hello, hello, hello. Hello. What device am I using? Mm, hello, hello, hello. I do not know how to get this thing to. Ugh, sorry. I just flailed around so much. And am I back now? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello.
hey,
Hey, am I back?
yes.
Okay. I'm not going to explain the stupid saga I just went through.
Fine.
But suffice to say, my internet definitely cut out, and I also did some stupid shit on top of that. Okay. Enforce, uh, lint, check next code with nixd.
Nix F.
Next,
Called
right?
Nixf Tidy.
Yes.
I'm actually I'm in the process of doing that at work.
Awesome. Okay. So there is an issue for that. So in the meantime, should I leave this line here? So if there's something for us to fix in the future?
Share screen,
Shoot.
or don't just rotate, I suppose.
Okay. Uh,
Is it?
I am rotated.
Cool. I will share screen then. Here's the.
Yep. Should we leave
Okay.
it there for future us?
Mm-hmm.
Or, okay. Then feel free to delete the comment I added.
Okay. Deleted. Is this ready? What is this?
It might be
Okay.
ready.
Like check. Except show would have been enough. But also it doesn't hurt to obtain the cache.
Sure. While that's going, I guess we can start working on the fetcher.
Uncommented.
Okay.
Fetcher. TCP.
I think let's start in fetcher default.next and do the modulars
Fetcher.
thing.
Okay.
Oh, there's only one check here, and I don't see a node too.
That's not it.
Okay.
Integration fetcher default.
There we go. Great. So instead of node to test, or okay, yeah, there's some pre-work here.
TCP/DB will go to fetcher TCP.
Mm-hmm.
Both package will go to fetcher both package.
Love it.
In be something like
Per system
per
equals.
system. We get a packages,
Mm-hmm.
and we do module args
Node to fetcher test.
node to fetcher test calls a function that takes. Well, I don't need to rewrite that. That is that.
Love it. Great.
Let in disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Packages.
Great.
And then we have imports.
TCP/DB and default package.
This
Loving it.
is default package. It'll be something like per system packages or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Checks dot integration fetcher PC default package.
Mm-hmm.
Delete. No, that's the name. Equals
Equals node to fetcher test.
node to fetcher test with
Now
the
we can use that
name
string.
fetcher with default package and
Then
some
parens.
node
Wonderful.
from, I don't know, let in this.
Okay.
This comes from node to fetcher test. Packages comes from here.
Mm-hmm.
This is unused. This is self from, delete this self.
Great.
No more problems here. Where's my timer? Well, it didn't go off yet. This is similar. Be something like self, or system
Mm-hmm.
to fetcher test packages.
Dot dot dot.
Checks E.
Okay.
Let in here.
Mm-hmm.
Delete that. That's probably the case. Self. This is self prime.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Next.
There's three. Okay. So fetcher PDB. The prime add to the. Okay. All right, that might do it. So now the option per system.blah is, hey, nice. Okay, so great. We can't step on our own toes. I love it. This is supposed to be called TCPDB. Thank you for accidentally testing that out. I was curious if that would work. We'd be prevented from clobbering existing tests or outputs.
Yep. Options instead of just blind
Yeah,
recursive merging.
makes sense. Okay, up next, okay, get a check going. While that's going, let's look for old. I don't think there's any old. Git ls files rep old. That's it. I think we've reached the end of the line. I think that's it. if you want to do a mob start and a Nix Flake check, it'll probably go faster on your machine than my laptop.
Okay.
But I
You
think
not? Did you
we're
next?
approaching mob done territory. I did a mob next.
Right. Check.
So while this is going, do we want to look at the full diff? It might be a lot. Or is there anything in your head of things we meant to do that we hadn't gotten to yet?
Show us the Netflix show.
Oh wow, that check finished already? That's a little distressing. Maybe I had everything built already and the tests don't take forever. All right, from the top, 2 apps.
I guess.
Here's our integration tests. They look great. There are
Do
5
you
of them.
want to save a Netflix show from main and then to like diff them too?
Sure. GitHub, molybdenum software /PR tracker. Attempt /before. Molybdenum software PR tracker. And then I'll do a next Flake show. Oh, let's do a diff of before /temp /temp /before /temp /after. Oh boy. Wait. Okay. Not surprising that that changed. Integration. So Nixos test to
Can
integration.
we do it without colors?
Uh, without colors, sure. Do you know how to do that? No color or something?
Something you can use Nix
Color.
locate to search for something like strip.
Oh, you're talking about the Nix Flake show. We want that to not have colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I don't know if you can disable colors here, but you can pipe it to through something like strip ANSI, which I don't remember
Like
where it's from. But you can use Nix locate. You have Nix locate,
I have comma. I don't have like Nix
and
locate.
because it's not the name of the package.
Sure. This is like strip.
Try strip hyphen and
I did
see trim strip ANSI
an npm packet.
anti strip
Info.
ANSI trim ANSI
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT. Maybe I'll search my history.
Sure.
ANSI filter.
Hey, that did something. No hyphen. Knows what I'm running. Seems to be doing something. Next Lake Show, pipe that into Unsee filter. Yeah, looks beautiful. Okay, great. Before. Molib. Then we'll do a Nix Flake show. After. We'll do a diff t of before. Oh, that's not working the way I thought it did. Okay, whatever. That's much better. Thank you. So what was it?
Yes,
Fancy
thank you.
filter. Lovely. Okay. So the name's changed from Nixoff. We dropped a couple of packages. Uh-oh. Not there. And then we renamed Nixoff modules manual to Nixoff manual, which I think was probably intentional, but this was not.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get those back, and we can do that. We can leave a note to ourselves to do that later, I guess.
Yes.
How do you want to leave a note to our future us?
Something that breaks evaluation.
Okay, so I'll go to flake.next, and I'll add a throw. How do you do a throw in next? I should know this.
I never did that.
That did it. Okay, so if I do something like throw, to do add, yikes, that should not have
Oh.
reformatted. There we go. Now if I do a nix flake check, okay, there, that's about the ugliest thing possible. Good enough for you?
Hmm. Yes.
Okay. Mob next. All right. Good stuff. Okay, tomorrow we're definitely done with the flake refactoring, and either we're jumping into Nixf, tidy, whatever, or we're back to playing with Poem and Rust.
Yep. Yep.
Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion to the flake refactor.
Yes. Thank you for watching. We hope it's been educational and entertaining and compelling. See you next time.
Bye.